Good morning. Welcome to Pizzi Psych. I'm Dr. Greg Pizzi, psychologist, relationship specialist, and board certified sex therapist, speaking to you from Miami on Thursday, September 10th, 2020 at 9:46 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Welcome to my channel here on Facebook as well as on YouTube at Pizzi Psych. Today I'm very excited to talk about one of my favorite topics in life, one of my most favorite passions, and that is the beautiful Spanish language. Results are in. Studies have shown something that I have suspected my entire life. And now it makes sense to me why I am absolutely obsessed, crazy about this beautiful language, people, and culture. Spanish has been shown to be the happiest, most loving language in the world. We're going to be talking about that in a few minutes here on the 13th episode of my live cast here on Pizzi Psych. It's a pleasure to have you. Please share your thoughts, comments, and any questions you may have below. I can't see who's on, so if you're here, please comment, and I would love to shout out to you and say good morning, or buenos dias in this case. So today we're going to talk about a few different things as usual. I'm Dr. Pizzi. As you know, I'm a psychologist. We're going to talk about Spanish language. We're going to talk about why being bilingual makes you more likely to have enjoyable connections with other people in this life. I'll give you my relationship tip with free gift, as usual. We'll share a gratitude moment together and then a positive affirmation for you to take with you. Please like and follow me here on my Facebook page, Pizzi Psych, and on YouTube as well. The spelling is down below. That's my website, and also on YouTube at Pizzi Psych. I would appreciate all of your support. So, a little bit about me. I'm a psychologist. I'm a relationship therapist and a sex therapist. Now, I've always been fascinated by language. I was born as an English speaker in a New Jersey suburb of New York City, about half hour, 45 minutes outside of the city, in a relatively small to medium-sized town where there were no Spanish community. I fell in love with the Spanish language when I first learned my first word, which was hola. I think I was about 14 years old. I wanted to speak Italian because my heritage, my family, my last name are all Italian, and that's our, strongest cultural tie outside of, being Americans, which I am the fourth generation American in my family born here. However, we identified as Italian Americans, and I always thought that I should learn Italian because my parents don't speak Italian, and my grandparents did at one point, but stopped using it. And I really felt it was very important. It's always been important for me to feel like I'm identified with my culture, with who I am, where I come from. And I've always been fascinated by learning different things from different people that are not like me. So I told my mom and dad that I was going to take Italian in high school because in grammar school we didn't have any foreign language. So when I was going to go into high school, I said I was going to take Italian. They said, you don't need to take Italian. You should take Spanish. I'm like, why? But I'm Italian. And they said, no, take Spanish, take Spanish. I was not happy at all. I was not thrilled with that. First of all, I don't like to be told no, number one. I'm the oldest of three boys, and I was a spoiled brat, still am. And I didn't like the fact that they told me that I couldn't speak the language I wanted to speak. So I reluctantly gave in. Something inside me said it made more sense practically, so I went with it. I said, let me just try this. Well, all I remember was hearing that first word, seeing the professor write it on the board, and instantly hearing him speak Spanish. My life transformed. I have goosebumps right now. I don't know if you can see it. I'm getting goosebumps from talking about this. And I get goosebumps whenever I talk about Spanish. I even get goosebumps when I speak Spanish or hear Spanish. That's how magical and beautiful it is to me. And speaking another language is such a beautiful gift that I got from my aunt. My aunt Arlene was a linguistics professor, and she and I always talked about languages, but nobody else in my family really, I kind of got on board with that. Although they admired it, they never really understood it or got into languages. So I learned my first word, hola, and from that point forward, that was it. I was done. I was a prisoner of Spanish. And I said to myself, sitting there in that first class when I was 15 or 14 years old, I said, I didn't know any of it. I didn't know a word of Spanish. And I said to myself, I am going to speak this language. I'm going to speak this language like a native. I said, I don't care how long it takes. I'm not going to stop until I'm speaking, thinking, speaking, dreaming, and living in this language fully. And sure enough, here I am. It's many years later, but it happened pretty quickly because I was in love with it. Linda Sue, good morning. Thank you for joining me. I miss you. Linda Sue is from New Jersey, where my roots are. Thank you so much for all your support. Say hi to everybody in Northville for me. Thank you for always being there for me and my family. So I've always been fascinated by language, and language is the way to connect to people in the most authentic way possible. The best way to get to know a person is to speak their language. So literally, when you speak the language of another group of people, you can literally get through to them in ways that you can't otherwise. You can hear parts of them and understand and live their experience. So I've always preferred it. I've always preferred speaking Spanish ever since I really started to learn it. It was tough. I had to, deal with the embarrassment of making mistakes, but I had very patient, loving people that helped me and taught me. And of course, most of my best and dearest friends in this world now are Spanish speakers throughout the world. So thank you so much to all of you. Muchas gracias a todos ustedes por haberme ayudado con mi español. Now, today is not going to be a Spanish lesson. However, we're going to talk about the Spanish language from a standpoint of culturally and how Spaniards view the world, how it affects their outlook on life and their relationships. Keep in mind that within our language, the way we speak and the way we categorize and identify things is the way we speak and the way we create our experience. What we say about something is how we think about it. What we call something is how we feel about it. So without language, we're lost. Absolutely lost. All right. Thank you, everybody, for going through that diatribe of mine, that rant about Spanish. It's more to come, so please be prepared for that. Moving on to our news item of the day. Today is September 10th, 2020. Today is World Suicide Prevention Day. Suicide is a leading cause of death in the United States. It's a national public health crisis. It's the 10th cause of death for adults, and it's the second biggest cause of death for individuals between age 15 and 34 years old. So it's the second leading cause of death, suicide, for young people between 15 and 34 years old. We spend a lot of time online, and those of you who are watching me here are obviously online. And I want to talk about some of the ways that you can identify somebody at risk for suicide online. One of the first hurdles to cross, and by the way, this is from an article which I will post in the comments below later. One of the first hurdles to cross in establishing a process for members of a community is to identify when someone might be in crisis, okay? Usually people express one or more warning signs before attempting suicide or when they're feeling suicidal. So a person might put a warning sign in a comment online, maybe in a direct message. on their profile or a post. So be aware of posts online where you see somebody talking about maybe wanting to die or saying, I want to kill myself, expressing a desire to hurt oneself, anybody asking for or looking for information about methods of suicide might be a sign. Whenever you hear someone online, either in a post or in a chat, talking about feeling hopeless or not having any reason to live, talking about feeling trapped or in pain, things like people are better off without me. If you notice somebody increasing their use of alcohol or drugs, often that might be a sign that they're, not doing well. Okay. So people can be anxious or agitated, behaving recklessly. Now, obviously, all these behaviors don't necessarily mean a person is suicidal, but they're reckless, they're disorganized, and they're not healthy. So all of them, kind of one or more taken together, might be a sign a person is considering suicide. Withdrawal, isolation too, somebody not responding at all or staying to themselves. Extreme anger, talking about being angry or seeking revenge of some kind, that might be a sign that a person is considering suicide. Extreme mood swings. Linda, Linda, stop interrupting my flow here. You're making me laugh, and I'm trying to be serious about a serious topic. You can't speak English, and I want you to speak Spanish. Okay, haha, very funny. I love you. Let me get back to my suicidal piece. I'll get back to you. When someone is showing rage or extreme mood swings, talking about wanting to harm themselves, as I said earlier, or some kind of a heightened fixation with death or violence. Obviously, this is a very serious topic. If we see somebody that is acting in any of these erratic ways, we can reach out to them. We can talk to someone that we trust, maybe contact a loved one of theirs. If it's a young person, maybe a parent or a teacher or a trusted family member or friend, or simply reach out to them directly, give them an opportunity to talk. Finally, we have national suicide hotlines, which I'm going to put the number in the comments below as well, and the link for suicide hotlines. And I also have it right here, up on the screen right here. I think you can see the suicide prevention hotline. There's a phone number there, and I'm going to post the website as well. So thank you for your attention to World Suicide Prevention Day, which is today, September 10th. Let's all be on the lookout for each other, especially online, now that the whole world is online. People have used online and the internet as a way to express themselves for a long time. And now it's even more important than ever to keep a lookout for each other. Don't ignore comments that don't feel right. Like they say in the airports, if you see something, say something. It can't hurt, and you never, ever are going to err on the side of being too careful, too kind, and too loving to someone that may be in need. Thank you for your attention to this topic. Moving on to our featured topic of today, we're going to talk about the Spanish language, one of my favorite all-time passions in life. And coming from an article in the Daily Mail, a Science Tech article, I will post the link as well below later on. But it turns out that Spanish is the happiest language, and people in Spain are the most in love. Coming from an article by Victoria Wollaston. Now, some of you may say, oh, well, of course they're in love. They're so sexy. They're so beautiful. Like, who wouldn't want to be? Well, I think Spanish people are beautiful, but, they don't own the trademark on good looks. There's there's a lot more to that. And, there's something about the language and the culture that lends itself to being more open and more connecting. We're going to talk about that right now. So, Spain has been named the most amorous nation by a study that was done. Spanish people, now we're talking about the country of Spain, okay? Obviously, there's Spanish speakers throughout the world, but we're talking specifically about Spain right now, okay? Those of you who are Spanish speakers, who are bilingual, know that there is a difference. There are some differences between the way Spanish is spoken in Spain versus in Latin America and other countries where Spain is spoken. And there are cultural variations as well. Just because someone speaks Spanish doesn't mean they think the same way or that their culture is the same. Okay? So Spanish people in the study showed that they sent more love-related messages on Viber than any other region. Ahead of France, Italy, and Japan. Okay? This may be linked to the fact that the language was found to be the happiest and most positive language by mathematicians. Okay? Spanish users of the messaging app Viber. Okay, this study obviously is a few years old, but I don't know if any of you know Viber. I used to use Viber. I thought it was a really cool app. I don't know if it's still around. But people in Spain using Viber, which is like a WhatsApp, okay? It's like a WhatsApp, sent the most love-related stickers. And another study showed that Spanish is the most positive language, okay? People in Spain use words such as amor, or love, and risa, or laughter, more than any other region, okay? So the use of words as well as stickers to express love, laughter, okay? Smiles, happiness. Viber said that its Spanish users sent the most love-related stickers on its messaging app, and that the kissing couple sticker topped the list globally. I think that this is super interesting, and it makes total sense to me because a language, a culture, and a group of people's experience of life is defined by its language. If we don't have a word for something, it almost doesn't exist. If we don't have a word, a way to name something, to name a feeling, to name an experience, to name a thought, to name a desire, if we can't put a name to it through our language, how are we going to talk about it? How are we going to even conceptualize it? How are we going to put it in our head if it's not going to be encoded through language? So the way things are said, the words we use, color, I think more than color, I think they absolutely construct and define the way we see ourselves in the world. So a study related to the University of Vermont built a database of billions of individual words from 10 of the most popular languages, okay? Including Google Books, Twitter, subtitles on some films and TV shows, song lyrics, the New York Times in Spanish, Chinese, English, French, Portuguese, Arabic, Indonesian, Korean, Russian, and German. And the 10 happiest languages turned out to be, from 1 to 10, the top one, happiest, number one in the world, was determined to be Spanish, followed by Portuguese. Number 3 is English, 4 Indonesian, then French, German, Arabic, Russian, Korean, and Chinese. Okay? They tested the findings by applying their analysis to some books and mapped out the emotional content and patterns throughout them. At the top of the list was Spanish, which had the highest skew toward positive feelings. Incidentally, Chinese was at the opposite end of that scale. I don't know what that means for the Chinese, but I find that extremely interesting. These findings I found absolutely fascinating, and they validate something that I've known and felt my whole life, which is that I have always felt better speaking Spanish. It's not my native language, but I have adopted it as my language. I speak it as comfortably as I speak English in most cases. Now, obviously, there's a lot of vocabulary, and in certain contexts, I may not know the vocabulary in Spanish that I would know in English, but it works vice versa as well. There are words that I can't access or don't think of in English because I never use them in English for certain topics. So, my life has been transformed by Spanish, and I prefer Spanish over English pretty much any time. And I said to a friend of mine recently, I think he thought I was crazy and he didn't quite get it. He was bilingual. He is bilingual and he speaks both languages. His family is from Colombia. And I told him that I'm happier in Spanish. And, you know, a person might not get that, but that's okay. I know what that means. And these studies actually help me kind of explain that a little bit better. Any questions, please put them in the comments below and I will be getting to them as I am able. I appreciate your support and your interest in my channel. Moving on to our daily relationship tip. To increase the things that your partner's been doing, okay, if you want more of that, if you want your partner to do more of something, simply acknowledge it, okay? Acknowledge it to yourself, acknowledge it to them. Think about and appreciate the things that they're doing that you like and that you want more of. Say thank you. Talk about what you like. Don't talk about what you don't like. Don't tell them the things that you don't want them to do. Tell them the things you love that they do. We draw more of what we direct our attention to. That's the law of attraction. Wherever we put our attention, whether we're talking about it, thinking about it, acknowledging or not, if we're attending to it, if we're looking at it in our mind, and if we're focusing on it, we draw more of it. So focus on the beautiful aspects of the person that you love. Tell them what you enjoy. Tell them how it makes you feel and focus and live out those beautiful things and you will draw more of it. You'll draw more of it out of the person because they'll feel better about themselves because you're feeling better about yourself. Okay, when we vibrate on a higher level, those around us vibrate on a higher level as well. Now, for my free gift to share with you guys is my relationship report card. I have a relationship report card that I will send you the digital version, and it allows you to grade your relationship if you're currently in a couple relationship and you'd like me to take a look at it and give you my feedback. I'll send you my free relationship report card. Just go to my website at www.peetsypsych.com, listed below. Use the blue Message Us button at the bottom of the page. There's a Message Us button. Send me your email address and ask for the relationship report card. I'll send it to you, and then when I get it, I'll give you my feedback and score it, okay? That's my free gift to you guys. Thank you so much for your support. Moving on to our gratitude moment, coming from the daily teachings of the Secret app, Law of Attraction. The universe loves gratitude. So for this month, make a commitment to give thanks each day. Every day look for things to be grateful for. Make thank you your catchphrase. As you walk from one place to another, say thank you with every step. Begin each day with the words, thank you. And make your last thought at night one of giving thanks for the day. Be grateful under all circumstances, no matter what's happening around you. In just 30 days of saturating yourself with gratitude, you can change your life beyond your conception. When you radiate and live gratitude, you press the on switch for the universe to deliver all good to you, matching the intensity of your gratitude. Bring it on, universe. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Gracias. 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 On next time in future livecast episodes, we're going to talk more about the Spanish language, being bilingual, and culture. We'll discuss racial equality, people in recovery, and the psychological benefits of pets. I'll be doing some interviews with some amazing people doing great things in the community. So stay tuned. Like and follow my page so that you get notified as a subscriber of upcoming events and episodes. Finally, our affirmation of the day, ending our episode, is one of my own. I'm going to share with you one of my own affirmations that I recently used. Success for me is based primarily in being happy. This is my most important value, being happy. However, doing the things I enjoy, as opposed to having things, is also very important, and I need money to do those things. In order to allow money to flow to me, I must get out of its way by vibrating on a high frequency as often and for as long as possible. To achieve this, I minimize stress and discomfort in my life. I focus on that which feels good. That in turn puts me in a state of allowing so that all good can flow to me and through me. Since the day has only 24 hours, I will not leave use of my time up to random, nor can I be careless about my allocation of my time. From this moment forward, I will have a strict calendar that allocates my time based on my dreams, desires, and goals. I will be as stubborn as I need to be in order to adhere to this plan, and I will not allow outside influence to distract me from it, nor take me off my track. I will copy and paste this affirmation in the comments below and share it with you guys. Lisa, gracias. Un gusto verte ahí. Wow, what a blast from a beautiful past. I love that you're there right now. You guys inspired me from an early age, so that's definitely a seed that was planted. So Jessica, Lisa, Linda Sue, thank you everybody for following. Please like and follow my page, subscribe here and on YouTube. See you guys soon and have a wonderful day.